Hey everyone, today we have the Chibi Elven Rogue. So this is my Chibi Elven Rogue. She comes with 2 daggers, and you can download this right now for free. There will be a link in the description down below to my Thingiverse. And if this is your first time here, I make Chibi magnetic modular miniatures, and I always give away something for free. So if you want to stay up to date with what I come up with next, subscribe to stay up to date. And today we have the Chibi Elven Rogue. But I do make Patreon exclusive options for people who want to support me and what I'm trying to do. So um, in this one, we have a alternate pose, kind of like a crouch down pose, as well as the alternate head. It is a masked ponytail head with elven ears. And just for the heck of it, I also made a bald head. I just got rid of all the hair. It took me like 2 seconds. So maybe you could slap this head on like a bandit or something. More options is good. And I originally didn't like the look of the daggers that I did. So I made new daggers, and I don't like the look of them. But I just have to move on with my life. So for my patrons, you get both, and as well as the holding the dagger backwards, just for more like pose variety. And for my patrons, I usually make the body on a saddle, but I'm gonna stop doing that because um, I have ideas for different mounts that I want to make in the future, and that saddle just wouldn't work with all of them. So instead of making each body on the saddle, in the future, I'm gonna make a body that's compatible to that mount, if that makes sense. For example, I want to make like a shark mount, that's like jumping out of the water. That saddle that I have would not work. So I would make a body, maybe like a few different bodies for that specific mount that has like a wetsuit or something. I don't know. That's just one example, right? But it'll be specific to that mount, so it just looks better, like a better fit. And you just, whatever head you have, you just plop it on that body, and then you can say your character is riding that mount. But yeah, here are a few more examples of how this modular system works. The cool thing about it is if you make a body and you paint it up all nice, and then you make a new head and you paint it up all nice, you have a brand new character, like on the soldier body, you can put this elven head, and now it's like an elven soldier. And that's what I'm trying to do. Eventually, you'll just have so many options that you won't know what to do with. But yeah, here is what you can get for free on the left: the elven rogue with a hooded head and the 2 daggers, the the old daggers that I hate. Um, and on the right are the Patreon exclusives that you can get if you choose to support me at this time. You get the daggers, the new daggers that I also hate, backwards grip daggers, the bald head with a mask, and the ponytail with a mask, and the crouched pose for my patrons on Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, I got my first patron. So that's exciting. I wrote them kind of a lengthy note thanking them and like asking them if they have any questions, and they did not reply. So um, I appreciate the support, but I need to know why. Because I'm trying to do things a little differently. For my patrons, I offer them everything that I've ever made. So, um, Like you could join, download everything, and then kind of leave, right? But I keep coming out with stuff, so you won't have access to that stuff. And for my patrons, I want to start a conversation about like what they want, so they can kind of help me guide the next the things that I make next. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I was not expecting a patron this early. I was thinking maybe toward the end of this year, I could maybe get like 1,000 subs and on YouTube and maybe like a few people on Patreon. But yeah, since I have one, I kind of want to know like why he joined and like what he appreciated about, so I can like focus on that, right? Like, why did you join? Please tell me. Now I'm starting to sound like a clingy boyfriend, so um that's gonna be for today. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.